No, I'm so sad everyone has to go back to school. Okay, shall we do some yoga, you guys? All right, thank you guys so much for coming. Anything I need to say? No, not really. Just, yeah, let's practice. Okay, so let's start in a comfortable seated position. So you can take a moment to adjust if you need to and just settle in. If you want to move around a little bit, get your wiggles out. I always like to kind of explore a little bit of movement before I find stillness. So just take your time and eventually sit up nice and tall with length through your spine and length through the back of your neck. And for me, I tend to press my ribs forward. So think of just gently knitting your front ribs together. So you want to find that nice neutral spine. Let your shoulders soften down away from your ears. Let your face soften. So unclench your jaw, soften through your eyes, your eyelids. And then just take these first few moments to really arrive here. So not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, energetically. So just start to notice, feel, and observe what it is to be present right here, right now, in your own body. Start to notice physical sensations that are present, energetic sensations, just what's going on for you inside. And let's begin with 3 great big deep breaths. So next time you breathe in, fill up as big as you possibly can. Hold at the very, very top of that breath. See if you can even sip in just a little tiny bit more. And then when you're ready, big open mouth exhale, let it go. Good. Again, just like that. Inhale, fill up. Hold in fullness, and as you hold this breath, see if you can soften and relax around it. And then again, when you're ready, sigh it out, release. Last time, so biggest inhale of your morning. Think of just moving prana, life force energy into every little space inside of you. Hold, soften around the breath. And then big audible exhale, let it go. Good. Now seal your lips gently and start to cultivate Ujjayi breath. So in and out through your nose. Gently constrict the muscles in the back of your throat. See if you can start to really hear your breath as it moves through your throat. Even feel your breath as it moves through your throat. So think of the way you pinch a balloon to let the air out slowly. That's the same thing you're doing with your breath. So start to regulate it just gently. So take your time simply just sitting, breathing, exploring your Ujjayi breath. So feel it move all the way down the length of your torso. With each exhale, see if you can find emptiness. So feel your belly button draw back and up towards your spine. When you do feel ready to move, you're welcome to begin. So you can either stay in your seat and start to explore some intuitive, unstructured movement from here, or whenever you're ready, just come forward onto your hands and your knees and start to move in your own intuitive way. So I always encourage you to keep your eyes closed at the very beginning of class. So allow yourself to get out of your mind, get away from that self-conscious part of yourself, and just start to feel and go inward. So let go of how you look, Let go of how anybody else in this room looks right now and simply feel into your body. Really inhabit your body with your awareness. And whatever feels right to you, it doesn't even have to feel good. So what feels stiff or tight or sore? And then can you start to soften through those places by breathing into them, by stretching into them? So give yourself about 5 more breaths or so, moving in whatever way calls to you this morning. And then in absolutely no hurry, no rush, find your way back to our first downward facing dog of practice in your own time. Good job, you guys. So as you move back into your first down dog, take a few breaths to explore it. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. Think of gripping the ground with the pads of your fingertips. And then really use the strength in your core to take some weight out of your wrists and out of your shoulders. So imagine you've got a seatbelt around your waist and it's lifting you up towards the ceiling or up towards the sky. So see if you can find that little bit of lightness by engaging more from your center. If it feels good, pedal out your heels. You can even think of doing a little dance on your yoga mat in your downward facing dog. So maybe you want to stretch one leg up and then the other. Maybe you want to ripple forward to a plank position and then ripple back into your downward facing dog. Yeah, so just notice what's there this morning. What feels really strong, what feels open, and then what might feel a little bit stiff or tired or tender or sore. So just observation, no judgment, no need to fix or control, just simply noticing. And then come back to your breath, make sure it's still there, it's still big and spacious. See if you can feel it moving through all the little tiny spaces. You guys look really good. Take one more big inhale. Maybe lift your sit bones just a little teeny tiny bit higher. Exhale, gaze forward, step, tiptoe, or hop. Top of your mat, forward fold. So pause right here for a moment. Bend your knees enough so that you can bring your fingertips to the ground. And then crawl your hands off the right side of your yoga mat. And gently draw your left hip towards the back of the room. Think of breathing up the length of your left side body, your left rib cage, and then down the back of your left leg. Let your neck relax, let your head stay heavy, face soft. Take one more big breath here. And then end of your exhale, walk your hands over to the left side of your mat so they can even come off the left side of your mat. Gently pull your right hip towards the back of the room. And again, maybe bend your knees a little bit more if you need to, so fingertips can touch without a problem. See if you can relax more through your neck and your face, and then breathe up your right side, down the back of your right leg. Nice. Take one more full round. End of your exhale, hands come back to center. Take a nice easy ragdoll pose for just a moment. So grab opposite elbows and just kind of let your torso sway from side to side or even bob a little bit up and down. Make sure all 10 toes face directly forward and try to keep your weight in the front half of your feet rather than back in your heels. Focus on lifting your butt, your sit bones up towards the sky as you reach the crown of your head towards the ground. So you can still lift your butt up while keeping a big bend in your knees. You just want to find that line of tension down the backs of your legs. So you're looking for your own edge. Take one more full round of breath. End of your exhale, release your elbows. Inhale to a halfway lift. So spinal extension, get all the rounding out of your back. Good. Exhale, bow, refold. Do that one more time. So inhale, halfway lift. Top of your head reaches forward. Tops of your thighs press back. Sit bones broaden. Exhale, fold. And then your choice, roll or reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's flow through a couple half sun salutes. Inhale, high mountain, arms reach up. Exhale, heart leads, slow swan dive down. So lengthen for as long as possible, then release and fold. Halfway lift with your in-breath, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, refold Uttanasana. Root through your feet. This time, everybody try a reverse swan dive. So heart guides you all the way up to stand. Inhale, arms to the sky, stretch tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time like that. See if you can move even slower, even bigger breaths. Inhale, high mountain. And exhale, slow swan dive down. Think of riding your breath down and feel your body move through space. With your inhale, find your halfway lift. So grow your spine long, back of your neck nice and long. Exhale, fold. Draw belly button in and up. So find Uddiyana Bandha and then reverse swan dive to stand. Heart leads. Inhale, stretch tall, arms reach up. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, inhale, take your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, bring your arms into a cactus position. Lift your heart, open up, gaze up. Inhale, re-extend, arms to the sky. And exhale as slow as you can go. Dive down, forward fold. See if you can feel your core engage as you dive. With your inhale, lift up halfway. And then this time, exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank position. So pause here for just a moment. Give yourself a few breaths to really find your strength. So spread your fingers nice and wide and push the ground away. Breathe into your back body as you draw your belly button in and up. Make your legs strong, so fire up through the fronts of your thighs. If you want to come to your knees at any time, you're more than welcome to. See if you can just start to rock ever so slightly forward and back. So just like you're sawing through a log with your body, nothing changes in your position. You're just transferring your weight. And then next time you inhale, find that little rock forward, start on your tippy toes. Exhale, lower halfway down. So try to keep your elbows right over your wrists. Inhale, press back up, high plank. Do that just one more time. Exhale, halfway down, strong through your arms, strong through your belly. Good. Inhale, press up. And then one strong straight line as slow as you can go all the way down to your belly. Nice job. We'll take a Spider-Man Cobra first today. So hands out wide, fingertips on the ground, elbows face the sky. Lift your chest up. And then from here, you're going to keep your left leg nice and straight. Bend your right knee, press into your right fingertips, and roll onto the outside of your left hip. Reach your right toes towards the ground behind you. So think of a scorpion tail with your right leg. And then maybe reach your right toes up towards your left hand. See if you can let your left shoulder kind of dip down towards the ground. Feel the stretch there. So it's almost like a variation of shoulder pigeon. Take one more full round of breath. And then end of your exhale, come back to center and switch sides. So right leg nice and long, left knee bends, press into your left fingertips, roll onto the outside of your right hip. So left toes towards the ground behind you and maybe even up towards your right hand. Again, let your right shoulder kind of dip towards the earth. Take one more great big huge breath here. End of your exhale, back to center, release it down. Now you choose one more back bend variation of your choice. So baby cobra, full cobra, up dog, sphinx. Might feel nice to take an extra couple breaths, move around a little bit. When you're ready, downward facing dog is waiting for you. You've got about 5 breaths in your dog pose. So feel free to explore, bring in movement once again. Maybe you turn it into a turbo dog by bending your elbows and squeezing your elbows in towards each other. Maybe you just find stillness and focus on the movement of your breath on the inside, that rise and fall, that expansion and contraction. So wherever you've chosen to go with it, just make sure your breath is still right there. It's big, it's powerful, it's strong, it's supporting you. See if you can stay soft through your face, unclench your jaw, loosen up through your eyebrows, your forehead. Good. See if you can lift your sit bones a little bit higher. Good, Crystal. Take one more big inhale. Exhale, gaze forward. However you'd like to get there, travel to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Once you've arrived, good, Kate. Halfway lift, spinal extension. Breathe in. Exhale, bow, fold in. Now from the press of your feet, reverse swan dive all the way to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, draw your hands to heart center. All right, adding on. Inhale, arms reach up. Grab hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Pull your upper body up and then over to the right. Hip shift to the left. Breathe down your left side body. Bring more weight into your left foot. And if you want, you can even float your right foot off the ground. Reach it over towards the right side of the room just for a little balance challenge. See if you can breathe even bigger. Create more space on your left side. One more round. Inhale, come back to center. Switch your grip, so grab your right wrist. Exhale, up and over to the left. Shift your hips to the right. So bring more weight into your right foot now. See if you can reach your hips further over to the right and then dive towards the coffee shop. Option to float your left foot off the ground and reach it towards the left side of the room. Think of creating a crescent moon shape with your body. Take one more huge breath, stretch, and then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, add your little back bend, cactus your arms, lift your heart, open it up. Inhale, take your arms to the sky, and then slow motion, exhale, dive down, forward fold. With your in-breath, find your halfway lift. Get all the rounding out of your back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank, vinyasa, however you want to take it. So add your push-ups, substitute cat-cow, skip it all together, take it on your knees. Just move with awareness and intention. Nice, Cam. Move with your breath. All right, I want you to think again of moving in slow motion. Next inhale, take your right leg to the sky. So rather than just kicking it up there, see if you can move slowly and feel every little bit of transition. Nice. Press up with your right foot, press down through both of your hands, and then see if you can lift a little more through your center from your belly button. Lift up through your left sit bone, and then see if you can reach your right leg just a little bit higher. Spread through your right toes. Take one more big inhalation, lots of length. Exhale, think right knee towards your belly button, and then right knee to your nose as you bring your shoulders to stack over your wrists. Stay here as you breathe in, and see if you can really puff up through your back body, push the ground away. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your yoga mat. Rise up to crescent lunge. So front knee over front ankle, high on the ball of your back foot. Rise up, reach up, maybe gaze up. So find your widest stance and then hug in towards midline. So drive your feet into the ground and energetically pull front heel back and back toes forward. So you want to feel your inner thighs squeezing, your low abdominals toning, and then lift and open through your heart. Reach through your fingertips. Take one more big in-breath. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. As you exhale, pull your upper body up and then over to the right. Ever so slightly, pull your right hip back and left hip forward. So you're really squeezing through your inner thighs. And then breathe down your left side body. Nice, you guys. So legs stay strong and stable. See if you can create more extension through your left side. More length. One more full round. Inhale, come back to center, release your grip. And then exhale, just tap your hands to the ground, pivot your back heel down, so setting up for a warrior 2, and then windmill your arms up, Virabhadrasana 2. So you can take a moment to kind of settle in and adjust your stance. So your right toes face directly forward, left toes face directly to the left, front heel intersects back arch or lines up with your back toes. And then think of trying to wrap your right butt cheek underneath your body. Stack your shoulders over hips and soften through your shoulders. So rather than using your traps to hold up your shoulders, see if you can use the muscles in your mid and your upper back. So think of hugging your back muscles around your spine. Next time you breathe in, reach forward as far as you can, and then tip it over side angle posture. So either right elbow to right thigh, or right fingertips might come to the ground. Try not to let your right butt cheek stick out. Keep wrapping it underneath your body. Imagine you're trying to rotate your heart towards the sky. You can stay here, or left arm might reach forward past the top edge of your mat. If you want to take a bind or just a half bind, you're more than welcome to. You've got about 2 or 3 more breaths to be in this posture. So rather than just tuning out for your next 3 breaths, tune in and see if you can make something happen on the inside. Make those little teeny tiny micro adjustments with every single breath you take. Imagine you're trying to rotate your heart up to look at the sky. Good job. If you are in the bind or the half bind, slowly release, re-extend. Take one last breath, everybody. And then press into your feet. Inhale, rise up through warrior 2. Take it all the way back to reverse. So front palm rotates up, reach back, and lengthen through your right side body, but stay in your right leg. So keep lunging into your front knee. Keep that bend in your front knee, and then press into the inner and outer edge of your back foot. Breathe length into your right side body. If you'd like, you can bring your left hand up to grab hold of your right wrist, and then just gently tug, gently pull. See if you can create more length in your right side. Imagine you're trying to press your right ribs up towards the sky. Take about 2 more full rounds, your fullest expression. Breathe into it. Soften around it. Good, Anne. Awesome job, you guys. Next time you inhale, come back to your warrior 2. And then as you exhale, just cartwheel your hands to the ground, pivot up to the ball of your back foot, standing split. So left leg to the sky. And you can choose to open your hip or keep your hips nice and square. It's just a little bit of a different stretch. So what feels more beneficial to you in this moment? You can keep your fingertips on the ground to help with balance, or maybe you wrap your right arm behind your right leg. Maybe you press your palms into the earth, lift up to your right tiptoes. So think of that lift coming from your belly button rather than just from your leg. If you want to take a few hops towards handstand, go for it. You've got about 2 or 3 more breaths. Really nice, you guys. Good, Kate. If you're hopping, gaze slightly forward of your hands, and it helps me if I hop on an exhale, so my belly button is pulling in. Good job. Nice variations. Take one more big inhale. Maybe lift your left leg a little higher. Exhale, forward fold. So left foot comes down at the top of your mat. Maybe you give your right leg a little shake out or kind of pedal out your heels just like you would do in a downward facing dog. Next time you breathe in, halfway lift, spinal extension. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, chair pose. So weight in your heels, bend your knees, lift your heart, and reach up. So take a moment to settle. Make sure you have a little engagement through your lowest, deepest abdominals. So I think almost always think of drawing your navel in and up towards your spine. And then lift through your heart, squeeze through the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. See if you can, rather than rounding, lift and even gaze forward or gaze up. Take one more big inhale. As you exhale, chair plane or drinking bird. So hinge forward, reach back, float up to your tiptoes for a little balance challenge. Think of a baby cobra in your chest. So rather than gazing straight down, gaze slightly forward. Find that little lift through your heart. Squeeze your back muscles around your spine. Nice, Amy. Take one more full round. See if you can lift your heels higher, bend your knees more, and then maybe stay on your tiptoes. High mountain all the way up, as tall as you can grow. Possibly stay on your tiptoes, slow swan dive down. It's helpful if you bend your knees as you dive if you're trying to balance. With your heels now on the ground, spinal extension with your in-breath. And exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back, vinyasa, however you'd like to take it. We'll see you back in downward facing dog. All right, again, slow motion movement. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Yes, good, love it. So keep your hips square, really press back and up with your left foot, press forward and down through your hands. See if you can find a little more length underneath your armpits by pressing your hands down into the ground and then reaching your left leg higher. See if you can reach your right butt cheek a little bit higher. Lift it up, lift through your belly button like there's a string attached to it, pulling up. Take one more big in-breath, spread your left toes. Exhale, left knee to your nose. Keep your knee as high as you can as you move into this position. Keep your hips high, stay, and take a big inhale. Exhale very softly, left foot steps through. Crescent lunge, high lunge. Rise up when you're ready. Settle in, find stability, nice crystal. So high on the ball of your back foot. Find strength through your legs by hugging towards midline. So your inner thighs squeezed. You should feel really stable through your legs. And then think of your upper body as your expression of this posture. So lift through your heart, maybe gaze up, maybe spread your fingers wide. Breathe into it. Take one more inhalation. And as you exhale, grab hold of your right wrist. Pull your upper body up and then over to the left. Ever so slightly, left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. So keep squeezing through your inner thighs. See if you can send your breath all the way down into the front of your right hip, those hip flexor muscles. Create more space there. Take one more full round. Reach, reach, reach. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Release your grip. Exhale, tap your fingers down. Pivot your back heel down. Warrior two stance. Windmill your arms up. Settle in. Virabhadrasana 2. Nice. So back heel pivots down. So left toes face directly forward. Right toes face directly to the right. And then think of wrapping your left butt cheek underneath you and tracking your front knee towards your pinky toe rather than your big toe. Next time you breathe in, reach forward like you're trying to touch the front wall, and then just tip it over. Left hand towards the ground, right arm towards the sky. Yeah, left elbow can come to your left thigh if you'd like. Just try not to put a lot of weight in your left arm. If you want to move into the half or the full bind, go for it. You've got about 3 more breaths to work your pose. So when I say work your pose, you might not move at all, but see if you can find those tiny little micro adjustments on the inside. The ones that take you deeper, the ones that get all the juice out of the posture. Keep bending your front knee, wrapping your left butt cheek underneath you, tracking your front knee towards your pinky toe. Press into the inner and outer edge of your back foot, back leg strong. If you are in the bind or the half bind, slowly release and re-extend. Everybody with your next inhale, reverse warrior. So all the way up, all the way back. Keep the bend in your front knee. Lengthen through your left side body. Now breathe into your left ribs. If you would like, your right hand can come up to grab your left wrist and then just find that gentle tug, that little pull. Imagine you're trying to press your left ribs up towards the ceiling and create an arch with your upper body. Good job. Take one more full round, your fullest expression in this moment. Inhale back to your warrior 2. And then as you exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground, pivot to the ball of your back foot, standing splits. Left foot roots down, right leg floats up. And you can do exactly what you did on the other side here. You can try something completely different. So notice this side might feel different than the other side, and you might want to take it to a different place. Honor that. Perhaps left arm behind left leg, perhaps handstand hops, or just prepping for handstand hops by lifting to your tiptoes. Keep your face nice and soft, your jaw is unclenched, and your breath is flowing fluidly, freely through you. Good, everybody. I don't care how high your right leg goes, just make sure there's energy running up into your right toes. Spread them. Take one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Set your right foot down. Give your left leg a little shake out or whatever movement feels good. Nice job. Halfway lift with your in-breath. Exhale, bow, refold. Root through your feet. Rise all the way to stand. Inhale to stretch tall. Exhale, hands to heart center, and we'll go through all of that. One breath, one movement. Inhale, arms to the sky. Grab your left wrist. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Hips move to the left. Inhale, back through center. Switch your grip. Exhale, other side. Reach as far as you can. Empty out. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, work your back bend. Cactus your arms. Back muscles hug around your spine as you lift and open. Inhale, arms to the sky. Realign your spine. Lead with your heart. Slow dive down. Exhale. Beautiful. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Keep that exhale going as you lower. Good, Josh. Inhale, Cobra or Up Dog. Exhale, Downward Facing Dog, hips high. Great big inhalation, right leg to the sky, spread through your toes. Use your core, exhale, right foot to the top of your yoga mat, lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, slowly rise up, strong through your legs. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Legs stay strong, squeeze through your inner thighs. Inhale, back to center, release your grip. Exhale, tap your fingers to the ground, pivot your back heel down. Warrior 2, rise up. Settle in. Exhale, side angle pose, so reach forward, tip it over. Empty out in your breath, and then inhale all the way up and back, reverse warrior. Reach and lengthen. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground, pivot to the ball of your back foot. Inhale, standing splits, left leg to the sky. Maybe take one hop if you want to. Exhale, forward fold, step down, top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, refold. Now weight in your heels, bend your knees, lift your heart, chair pose, reach up. Exhale, chair plane or drinking bird. So hinge forward, reach back, maybe float to tiptoes. Inhale, high mountain, maybe stay on your tiptoes. And exhale, follow your breath down. Option to keep your heels lifted as you dive. Heels on the ground for your spinal extension. Inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back, move through your vinyasa slowly with your breath. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, hips lift. Nice job. Left leg to the sky. Breathe in, spread through your left toes. Exhale, left foot to the top of your mat, soft as you can. Nice, Cam. Inhale, slowly rise up, reach up, maybe gaze up, crescent. Grab hold of your right wrist. Exhale, side body stretch towards the coffee shop as far as you can reach. Inhale, back to center, release your grip. Exhale, kiss the ground with your fingertips, pivot your back heel down. Warrior two, inhale, rise up, settle in. Wrap your left butt cheek underneath you. Exhale, reach forward, tip it over, side angle. And then inhale takes you back to your reverse warrior. So up and back, lots of length. Keep the bend in your front knee. Exhale, windmill your arms to the ground, pivot to the ball of your back foot. Standing splits, breathe in, right leg floats up, maybe you hop. And exhale, forward fold, set your right foot down. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, let it go, forward fold. Root through your feet, reverse swan dive, all the way to stand. Inhale, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll go one more time through. Make it a meditation in motion. Inhale, high mountain. Grab hold of your left wrist. Exhale, side body stretch to the right. Really use your breath, empty all the way out. Inhale through center. Switch your grip. Exhale, other side. Initiate the stretch from your lower body, so move your hips. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, back bend, cactus your arms, lift your heart, keep your low abdominals nice and strong. Inhale, arms re-extend. And lead from your heart, slow dive down. Feel your core engage as you dive. Halfway lift with your in-breath. And exhale, plant your hands, step or float back. Chaturanga Dandasana, strong arms, strong belly. Good, Crystal. Inhale, peel your heart open. Roll your shoulders back and down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhalation, right leg to the sky. Press up with your right foot. And then slowly, softly exhale, right foot to the top of your yoga mat for your lunge. Inhale, rise up, strong through your legs, crescent lunge. Grab hold of your left wrist. Exhale, side body stretch. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Inhale, come back to center, release your grip. Exhale, hands tap down, back heel pivots down, Virabhadrasana 2, breathe in, settle in. Exhale, side angle posture. So reach forward like I'm a little teapot, tip it over. Good. Inhale, reverse warrior, all the way up, all the way back. Keep the bend in your front knee. Nice job. Exhale, windmill your hands to the ground, pivot to the ball of your back foot with your in-breath, standing splits or little handstand hop. Exhale, forward fold, both feet at the top of your yoga mat. Halfway lift with your in-breath, lots of length. Exhale, fold. Then weight in your heels, bend your knees, chair pose, lift your heart, reach up, little tone through your belly. Exhale, hinge forward, reach back, chair plane or drinking bird. So maybe you're on your tiptoes. Stay on your tiptoes if you'd like, all the way up, high mountain, breathe in. Exhale, dive down. Stay on your tiptoes as you dive for a huge balance challenge. Halfway lift with your inhale, heels on the ground now. Exhale, plant your hands, step or float, take your vinyasa. Inhale, lift your heart, find your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. See if you can breathe bigger and move slower with more intention. Left leg to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, left foot steps through, lunge position. Beautiful. Inhale, slowly rise up, crescent lunge. Maybe take your gaze up. Grab your right wrist. Exhale, side body stretch. Think up and then over. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fingertips to the ground as your back heel pivots down. Warrior two, rise up. Exhale, side angle posture. So reach forward, then left hand towards the ground, right arm towards the sky, or your right hand could even reach forward. Inhale, reverse all the way up and back. Stay in your legs. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, pivot to the ball of your back foot. Standing splits or take a little hop. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, right foot comes down. Listen here, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Now pause in your plank pose. Come down to your forearms, forearm plank. So elbows underneath your shoulders, either palms face down and your forearms are parallel, or if you want a little less intensity, you can interlace your fingers. Start to crawl your toes towards your elbows and lift your hips towards the sky, dolphin pose. So you've just got one dolphin pose today. This is it. See if you can stick with it. Give it everything you've got. Try not to let your elbows drift apart. Squeeze them in. Press down through the belly of your forearms. Lift up by using the strength in your core, by using that connection to your center. You can stay as you are, or you can play with lifting one leg and then the other. You can even play with little hops towards forearm stand if you feel comfortable in the middle of the room, if that's in your practice. You've got about 3 more breaths. I know it's uncomfortable. This is one of my least favorite poses, but it's so, so good for our shoulders and our upper back. So see if you can stick with it. Soften around it. Take bigger, deeper breaths. Maybe exhale out your mouth. Nice work, you guys. Just one last round. Big, huge breath. And then feet to the ground if they're not there already. Knees to the ground. Sit back and rest. So child's, puppy, embryo, or even heroes. Just a seated meditation, kneeling position. So take a moment wherever you're at to just kind of reconnect and recalibrate. So if your breath has sped up, slow it back down. If you feel like you're overheating, take a couple big cooling breaths out your mouth. Bring yourself back to the here and now, to this moment. So notice, feel, and observe. Feel the ground underneath you, the air around you, the community around you, its energy. Notice the rise and fall of your own breath. Find the rhythm of your own breath. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds, just grounding, restorative breaths here. And then eventually, downward facing dog is your destination, so you can get there however you'd like, just in your next few breaths. All right, my friends, from your dog pose, next time you breathe in, right leg to the sky. And then without sinking into your left hip or your left shoulder, peel your right hip open. So bend your right knee reaches out to the right and then up towards the ceiling. So you should feel your right outer glute squeezing. Keep your right foot active, spread through your toes or flex your foot. Take one more inhale, see if you can lift your right knee a little bit higher, shoulders strong. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, or as close as you can come. So shoulders are over your wrists, hips level with your shoulders. Inhale, back up, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, right knee, right arm as high as you can get on your right arm. Bend your elbows if you want to add a little push-up. Nice job. Inhale, back up. And then exhale, knee to your nose. Curl in. See if you can come up to your left tiptoes. Lift your hips high. And then step your right foot to the top of your yoga mat. Lunge position. Rise up to crescent lunge, arms to the sky. So take a moment once again to just stabilize, to find strength through your legs. Take one more big inhale here. And then as you exhale, airplane lunge. So hinge forward, reach back. Find a long line of energy from the top of your head back to your heel. So there's a long diagonal line there. And then squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Hug your back muscles around your spine. Start to bring more weight into your front foot. And then see if you can float your back foot off the ground for your full airplane pose. So maybe your left foot just hovers above the ground. That's your pose today. Maybe you work towards that smiley face shape from the top of your head back to your toes. So think of that little lift in your heart, and then use the strength in your inner thighs to lift your back heel as high as your front shoulders. Awesome job. Take 2 more breaths in your fullest expression, so give it everything you've got. Good, Josh. Keep your back foot active, spread through your toes, hug back muscles around your spine, and then see if you can land back in crescent lunge, nice and softly. So left toes to the back of your mat, arms to the sky. Take a big inhale here. As you exhale, right hand comes down to the top of your right thigh. Press your right hand down, reach your left arm higher, and then start to reach your left fingertips over towards the right side of the room. So find that side body stretch. Feel all that length in your left side. We're going to use it. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, left elbow to the outside of your right knee or thigh, hands to a prayer position. So press your palms together and use that to leverage your twist. Imagine you're trying to draw your belly button in and up away from your front thigh. Keep your back leg strong. Inner thighs squeeze. Take about 2 more rounds. If you'd like, you can extend your arms, but try to keep your left arm on the outside of your right leg. Use your exhales to twist, twist, twist. Very end of your next exhalation, slowly unwind, wide-legged forward fold, hands over to the left side of your yoga mat. So parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Now listen here, inhale to a halfway lift, stay here, reach your arms out to the right and to the left like airplane arms. Different kind of airplane than we just did. So palms face the ground, backs of your hands face the sky. Take one more big, huge inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand down underneath your chest and left arm reaches up for a twist. Good. You can stay here, or right hand might grab the outside of your left ankle and left arm can wrap behind your back. So wherever you choose to go, just make sure you can breathe. Big, slow, deep breaths. Every time you exhale, there's your invitation to twist just a little further. Take about 2 or 3 more rounds. Good, Anne. Nice job, you guys. Good, Crystal. Really nice poses. One last round. Make it your biggest breath yet. Twist and ring out. End of your exhalation. Slowly crawl your hands back to the top of your mat. Rotate your toes to face forward, so you come back into a lunge position. And then now walk your hands forward towards the top edge of your mat, or even off the top edge of your mat, warrior 3 with your fingertips on the ground. So not standing splits. Think of your spine parallel to the earth, your back leg parallel to the earth. Keep your left hand down. Bring your right hand to the crease in your right hip. I like to stick my thumb in that crease and then take the skin on the inside of my hip and roll it out and push it back. As you do that, your upper body starts to twist to the right. So continue to work that twist and eventually reach your right arm to the sky. So it's like you're trying to pull your right hip towards the back of your yoga mat, your inner thighs squeeze, and your hips are square. If your hips are not square, it's going to be a lot harder to find your twist. So maybe lower your left leg just a little bit. Your inner thighs face each other. And then reach up through your right fingertips like you're trying to touch the ceiling. Back leg stays strong. For me, that's the hardest part. Stay in tune with your back leg. Press with your back foot. Take about 2 more full rounds. If it's uncomfortable, then you're probably doing it right. Good job. It's a hard pose. It is uncomfortable. One last big inhale. Stay as you exhale, twist even further. End of your exhale, unwind, forward fold. So set your left foot down, maybe give your right leg a little shake out. All right, inhale to a halfway lift. So keep your spine in this halfway lift position, but bring your fingertips to the ground underneath your shoulders. So you might need to bend your knees a little bit. Now, take your left leg back and up once again. This time we're going to open it up to regular half moon. So left hand to left hip. Open up through your hips, and then eventually left arm to the sky. Option to take the bind if you want. Bend your left knee, reach back, grab hold of your left foot. Kick foot into hand, pull hand back into foot. And see if you can start to rotate your heart towards the sky just ever so slightly. Nice, Kate. Wherever you are at, be there. Breathe into it. Give it everything you've got. If your left leg is extended, can you make it stronger? Can you lift it higher? If you are holding onto your left foot, slowly re-extend. Take one more big inhale. Now listen here. Exhale, fingertips to the ground, left knee to your nose. So curl in, hollow out your belly. Inhale, standing splits, left leg to the sky. And then exhale, lunge. Step your left foot to the back of your yoga mat. Bring your back knee down gently. And if you need extra cushion, you can fold over the side of your mat. Hands come up to your front thigh. Walk your front foot forward just a little tiny bit, just an inch or so. And then start to lean forward through your lower body like you want to sit your right butt cheek on your right heel, but don't let your left hip open. So left hip faces directly forward. You can choose to stay here with your hands on your front thigh, or next option, arms reach up, Anjaneyasana, lift your heart, reach up through your fingertips. Final option, only if you want to take it, add a little side body stretch. So right hand can either come down to your right hip, or if it's available to you, right fingertips to the ground, left arm reaches up and over. Keep moving your right butt cheek towards your right heel. Keep breathing wherever you're at. If you're in the side body stretch, one last huge breath. Inhale, bring your arms back up. Everybody exhale, hands come down inside your right foot. Walk your right foot out to the width of your mat and maybe even slightly forward. Now, see if you can start to lower your upper body down without just collapsing over to the left. So if I collapse to the left, this is what it looks like, and this is really easy. I could stay here forever. So you want to push your weight more towards your right leg, maybe even roll onto the outer edge of your right foot. And if you can't come down to your forearms, that's completely fine. Just find your own edge and then breathe into it. Good. Nice, Kate. You can lift your back knee up if you want more intensity. Keep your back knee down for a little bit less. Just slow, steady, deep breaths. Allow yourself to be in sensation. Allow yourself even to be uncomfortable. And just breathe. Be here for about 3 more rounds. You can exhale out your mouth anytime. I know it's a lot. Good job, you guys. Take one last big, huge breath here. And then rise back up to your hands. So plant your hands under your shoulders and then lift your back knee off the ground. Now just kind of scoot your right foot. So I kind of heel toe my right foot back and then swing my right leg back. So you're coming into a plank position. And then side plank, Vashisthasana. Right hand is your base. Roll onto the baby toe edge of your right foot, left arm to the sky. You can come down to your right knee if you would like to modify. If your right knee is not on the ground, then focus on lifting your hips super high to get out of your wrist and your shoulder. Option to reach your left arm forward, lengthen your left side body, breathe into your left side body. If you'd like, you can float your left leg up or find a leg variation of your choice. Take about 2 more deep breaths. I know it's a lot. I know it's challenging. Stick with it. Allow yourself to shake and tremble. One last big inhale. Exhale, plank or modified plank. Take an inhale at the top to prepare. And then exhale, slowly lower down through Chaturanga. Inhale your back bend variation of choice. And then just a tabletop position, so hands and knees. Bring your knees out a little bit wider than your hips. Take your right arm out to the right, reach it all the way up to the sky. Big inhale here. And then exhale, thread your right arm underneath you. Reach through as far as you can. Come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, outside of your head. And any variation you'd like to take is welcome. So you can make it a little more restorative. You can make it a little more engaged, more powerful. You can work the pose with your breath. Sometimes I like to kind of shift my hips from side to side and just notice how that changes where you feel this stretch or how you feel this stretch. See if you can feel your breath move through your upper back, mid back, all the way down to your low back. Good job, you guys. If you do have your left hand or your left knee lifted, bring them both back to the ground. Next time you breathe in, unthread your right arm, reach it all the way up to the sky. Might feel really nice to take an extra breath here. See if you can reach higher and open more. And then when you're ready, right hand to the ground, downward facing dog. All right, next inhale, take your left leg to the sky. And then try not to sink over into your right side. Peel your left hip open. So with awareness, keeping your shoulders strong, staying connected to your center, left knee reaches out and then up. Keep a flex in your left foot or spread through your toes. Take one more big inhale. See if you can lift your knee a little bit higher. Good, Josh. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, or as close as you can come. Hips level with your shoulders, chest square to the ground. Nice. Inhale, back up, three-legged down dog. Exhale, left to left. So as high as you can get on your left arm, maybe add that push-up. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then last one, knee to your nose. See if you can come up to your right tiptoes, scoop out your belly, and then softly step your left foot to the top of your yoga mat. Rise up to crescent lunge as you're ready. So take just a moment to settle, to find stability. Find that little tone in your belly, that lift through your heart. And then deep breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, airplane lunge. So hinge forward, reach back. Find that diagonal line of energy from the top of your head back to your toes. See if you can start to get lighter on your back toes. Come up to your tippy toes. Bring more weight into your front foot. And then eventually back leg floats up for your full airplane pose. Smiley face shape from the top of your head back to your heel is what we're going for, but whatever it looks like for you is perfect. So just find your fullest expression and then breathe into it. Work it with your breath. Couple more rounds. Good job. Nice modification, Anne. Take one last inhale. Stay as you exhale, and then as soft as possible back to crescent. So right toes to the back of your mat, arms to the sky. Reach up high, big inhale here, and then exhale, left hand comes down to your left thigh. Press your left hand down, reach your right arm even higher, and then start to reach your right fingertips over towards the left side of the room. So side body stretch. Take one more big inhale. And then as you exhale, use all that length on your right side to work into your twist. Right elbow outside of your left knee or thigh, hands to prayer. Press your palms together. And imagine you're trying to draw your navel, your belly button, up away from your front thigh. Keep your spine long. If you'd like to extend your arms, you can, but keep your right arm on the outside of your left leg. Back leg strong. Squeeze through your inner thighs. 2 more rounds. Big, huge breaths. Good. Nice poses, everybody. End of your second exhale. Ring out, then slowly unwind. You've got your wide-legged fold facing to the right side of the room. So parallel your feet, straighten out your legs. Inhale to your halfway lift with your arms reaching out to the right and to the left. So maybe you keep just a little teeny tiny bend in your knees. Make sure your spine is long. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards your spine. Press the backs of your hands towards the ceiling. Take one more big inhale. Good, Josh. And then exhale, left hand to the ground under your chest, right arm to the sky for your twist. You can stay here or left hand grabs the outside of right ankle, right arm wraps behind your back. Breathe. Slow, steady, smooth inhalations. Long, strong, powerful exhalations that take you all the way to empty every single time. So make your breath nice, Amy, just as important as the physical posture. Good poses, you guys. Take one final round, twist to your edge. And then end of your exhale, unwind, fingertips to the ground, crawl your hands to the top of your mat, rotate your toes to face forward, so back to a lunge position. And then find your warrior 3 with your fingertips on the ground. So crawl your hands forward, your spine lengthens as your back leg floats up. So one long, strong, straight line from the top of your head back to your heel. Hips are square. Bring your left hand to the crease in your left hip. Perhaps your thumb to the inside of that crease, and then take the skin on the inside of your hip, roll it out, push it back, feel your upper body start to twist to the left. That'll only happen if your hips are square, so make sure your right hip is level with your left. Then eventually continue to work that twist, reach your left arm to the sky, try to touch the ceiling with your left fingertips. Squeeze through your inner thighs, back leg strong and powerful. Spine is still long, and you can still feel your breath moving into your low belly. Give it 2 more rounds. Everything you've got, let it be uncomfortable. End of your second exhale. Good job. Forward fold. Nice, Kate. So step your right foot down next to left. Maybe give your left leg a little shake out. All right, next inhale, halfway lift. Stay in your halfway lift position with your spine, fingertips to the ground underneath your shoulders. So bend your knees a little bit if you need to. Left foot stays down, right leg floats back. This time, open up to your regular half moon. So you can bring your right hand to your right hip to start. Squeeze your outer left butt cheek, stack right hip on top of left, eventually right arm to the sky, maybe move into your bind, bend your right knee, reach back, grab hold of your right foot. Wherever you're at, breath is right there with you. So think of breathing in every direction, breathing space into every little nook and cranny inside your body. If your back leg is extended, see if you can lift it a little higher, make it stronger and more powerful. Nice, and take one more big, huge inhale. Release your right leg if you're holding it. And then exhale, all 10 fingertips to the ground, right knee to your nose. So curl in, hollow out your belly. Inhale, standing splits just for a second. Right leg to the sky. And then exhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat, lunge. Back knee comes down gently. If you need that extra cushion, fold over the side of your mat. Hands up to your front thigh. Walk your front foot forward a little bit, and then lean forward through your lower body like you want to sit your left butt cheek on your left heel. And then at the same time, imagine you're trying to pull your left heel back and up towards your left butt cheek. Lift your chest, reach your arms up. Stay here, or option to add your side body stretch. So left hand to left hip, or if it's available, left fingertips to the ground. Right arm reaches up and over. Breathe down your right side. If you're in the side body stretch, one last round. Inhale back up, reach up. And then everybody exhale, hands to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot out to the width of your mat. And then slowly begin to lower your upper body down while you push your weight to the left rather than sinking over to the right. And then just slow, deep breaths. Soften your face. Unclench your jaw. Visualize your breath moving into your left hip. Take about 3 more rounds. You can exhale out your mouth anytime. Good job, you guys. All right, start to lift back up to your hands if you're not there already. Plant your palms under your shoulders, pick your back knee up, and then work your left foot to the back of your mat so you're in a plank position. Side plank, this is your last big power pose. So left hand is your base, right arm to the sky, left knee can come down if you want to modify. If your left knee is not on the ground, lift your hips super high. Maybe reach your right arm forward. Maybe float your right leg up. So find your fullest expression, whatever that looks like for you on this side right now. Take 2 more huge breaths. Really good poses, you guys. End of your next exhale, plank or modified plank. Take an inhale at the top to prepare. Push the earth away. Exhale, slowly lower down all the way to your belly. Grow into a back bend of your choice. Inhale. And then exhale, just a tabletop position, hands and knees. Bring your knees out a little bit wider than your hips. Take your left arm out to the left, all the way up, gaze up, inhale here. And then exhale, thread your left arm underneath you, reach through as far as you can, come down to rest on the outside of your shoulder, the outside of your head. Big back body breaths. So upper back, mid back, and low back. Expand every time you inhale. Every time you exhale, see if you can find emptiness. Soften your face. Soften your outer body, your outer shell. Just go inward for your last couple of breaths. If you do have your right hand or your right knee lifted, bring them back to the earth. Next time you breathe in, unthread your left arm, reach it all the way up. Might feel really nice to stay here for an extra round. See if you can reach higher, open up even more. And then left hand to the ground. Downward facing dog, just one last time to stretch through the backs of your legs, to lengthen through your spine. So give yourself just a moment here. Move into all that space you've created. Take one last big inhale. And then as you exhale, just bring your knees to the ground gently. Find your way into a seat. And we're going to take Baddha Konasana today, cobbler's pose. So feet together, knees apart. Get your feet as close as you can towards your body without feeling like you're going to roll over backwards. So bring your feet further out if you need to in order to sit up nice and tall. Grab hold of the front of your shins or the front of your ankles, and then use your arms as a lever. So think of pulling your shoulders back and pulling your chest forward. Take a big inhale here. Lead with your heart as you exhale. Slowly dive forward and down. When you've gone as far as you can, leading with your heart, you can let your head relax, your upper back round, and maybe even start to crawl your hands forward on the ground in front of you. Big breaths into your low back and your outer hips. Stay here for a few more rounds. Rather than rounding your back and trying to get the top of your head to touch the ground, really think of lengthening through your low spine like you're trying to reach your butt towards the back wall. And then just let your upper back relax and round. Next breath, end of your exhale, slowly roll up through your spine, one vertebra at a time. And then your head stacks very last. You're gonna keep your legs in this position. So if you need to, you can kind of scoot yourself forward on your mat, lower all the way down onto your back. Feet together, knees apart, supine cobbler's pose. If this bothers your low back at all, then take your feet further away from your upper body. Arms just by your sides, palms face down. Exhale in your breath, and as you inhale, press your heels together and lift your butt up off the ground. Squeeze through your glutes and try to press your knees closer to the earth as you lift your hips a little bit higher. Take one more big deep breath, lift, squeeze, and release. We'll take 3 rounds like that. So take a moment to just rest, to give into gravity. Maybe sigh, a big exhale out your mouth. Next inhale, press through your palms, press through your heels, lift your hips up. Squeeze your glutes. Imagine you're trying to get your knees to touch the earth as you lift your hips even higher. One more full round of breath. End of your exhale, lower down. Take a moment. And then last round with your next inhale. Press your heels, press your palms, lift your hips. See if you can lift even higher than you have. Squeeze through your outer glutes, knees press towards the ground, hips lift a little higher. Keep breathing, keep squeezing, keep lifting for 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Good job, you guys. Draw your knees up, feet on the ground with your knees bent. Bring your feet to mat width distance apart. Tee out your arms or cactus your arms. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side. You can go as slowly or as quickly as feels right to you. Just make sure you keep your feet nice and wide, and that'll keep your low back open, so as you twist, you're not crunching up through your low back. Next time your knees fall to the right, let them stay there for about 3 rounds. If you'd like, you can bring the outer edge of your right foot to the outside of your left knee and use the strength in your right leg to encourage your left knee forward and down. And then as you're ready, just switch to the other side. So knees over to the left. Same option here, outer left foot to the outside of your right knee. Think of using your left leg to move your right knee forward and down. And big deep breaths. When you feel pretty even on both sides, come back to center. And for just a moment, keep your feet wide at the width of your mat, but let your knees fall in towards each other. So it's a deep inner spiral of your inner thighs, opening up your low back and your pelvic bowl. Breathe down into your belly, your hips. And you can stay here for as long as you'd like. If there are any other finishing poses or final movements that you would like to take, give yourself about 5 to 10 rounds of breath to move through them. So if there's one final inversion, one final heart opener, maybe a happy baby, go for it. If you feel like you're benefiting from just laying here in what I call constructive rest position, then stay right here, simply breathe. And then with each breath, just allow yourself to get closer and closer to your Shavasana. My thought for you guys as you move towards your final relaxation is by Jeff Foster. He says, in meditation, your only job is to be curious about what arises. Don't try to get rid of any aspect of your experience. Your crazy thoughts, just watch them. Uncomfortable feelings, just breathe with them. Cry with them, laugh with them. The part of you that hates meditation, be interested in that too. The child in you who can't sit still, who wants to be somewhere else, who feels ashamed or guilty for thinking unspiritual thoughts or feeling negative feelings or impulses, who feels the burning desire to run away and do something else. Welcome him with loving arms. With open arms. Breathe him into love and breathe love into yourself, into your body. In meditation, even the unwanted is wanted. Even your resistance is sacred. So for these last few moments, your only job is to just be curious about what arises. So let thoughts come and go. Let feelings, however uncomfortable they might be, just let them arise and let them fall. Just feel what it feels like to be you in your body, in your mind, in your soul, right here, right now, for these last few moments of class. Shavasana. deep breath in and let it go. Slowly bring gentle movements back into your body. And as you feel ready, roll to either side, fetal position, just curling into yourself, nurturing yourself for one last moment, letting the ground hold you. And using the strength in your arms, ease your way up into a seat. So just returning right back to where we began at the beginning of class. Take a moment to settle in, to find stillness. And just notice how you feel, if anything has shifted even the tiniest bit since we began our practice today. And with your eyes closed, gather your hands to your heart center. Bow your head to your heart. And just acknowledge yourself for taking time out of your day, making the effort to be here, to show up on your mat, to tune into your body, connect with your breath, just reconnect with a deeper part of you. I thank you guys so much for letting me guide you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.